Picture this. You're sitting at the kitchen table, sipping your morning coffee, and your husband shuffles in, leaving his muddy boots by the door. Again, you roll your eyes so hard you might see yesterday. Sound familiar? If you've ever wondered why some women start to dislike their husbands as the years pile on, you're not alone. And no, it's not just about those boots. Welcome back to the Joyful Senior, where we're peeling back the curtain on a question that's buzzing in retirement communities everywhere. Why do women, after decades of marriage, start feeling a little, fed up with their guys? Spoiler alert, it's not because the love's gone, it's way more practical than that, and today we're diving right in. I'm Brian, and if you're new here, this channel's all about keeping life real, fun, and full of joy as we age. Today's topic hits close to home for so many of us. Whether you're the wife muttering under your breath or the husband wondering why she's suddenly so prickly. We're unpacking 8 down-to-earth reasons behind this shift, from creaky knees and chore wars to those quiet moments when you realize you're just not on the same page anymore. Plus, I've got a little story about Linda and Tom. Think coffee chats, thrift store sprees, and one very grumpy shed dweller. That'll make you laugh and nod along. Stick with me, because by the end, you'll see these frustrations don't have to spell doom. They're chances to tweak the dance you've been doing together for years. So, grab your coffee, settle in, and let's get to it. Why do women start to dislike their husbands as they get older? The reason is very practical. 1. Physical changes. Let's start with the obvious. Our bodies don't stay 25 forever. For women, menopause hits like a freight train. Hot flashes, mood swings, maybe a little less pep in the step. Meanwhile, hubby's over there, blissfully unaware his snoring's gotten louder or his energy's not what it used to be. Suddenly, those physical differences aren't just quirks, they're friction points. She's tossing blankets off at night while he's piling them on, or maybe intimacy's taken a hit because one's ready and the other's, not. It's not about vanity, it's biology doing its thing. And when he doesn't get why she's cranky after a sleepless night, that gap widens. I've heard friends say, "He acts like I'm still the same gal from 1985. Thing is, we're not, and neither are they. Those creaky knees or slower mornings can make a woman feel like she's aging alone. Even with him right there. It's practical, sure, but it stings when it's not acknowledged. Next time you catch her glaring at the thermostat, maybe it's not just the heat, it's the disconnect. 2. Decreased intimacy. Speaking of disconnect, let's talk intimacy, or the lack of it. Remember those early days? Stolen glances, late-night giggles, a spark that lit up the room? Fast forward 40 years, and life's gotten in the way. Kids, jobs, now grandkids. That closeness, physical or emotional, can fade into the background. For women, that's a big deal. When hugs turn into quick pats or conversations shrink to "what's for dinner?" she might feel invisible. It's not that the love's gone, it's just buried under routine. I've seen it. My Aunt Mary used to say, "He's right there, but I miss him." And when intimacy dips, resentment creeps in. She might think, "Does he even see me anymore?" Seniors face this more than we admit. Health issues or tiredness can widen the gap. But here's the kicker. It's fixable with a little effort. A handheld, a real talk. Small stuff goes far. Without it, though, that dislike, it's brewing. 3. Communication breakdowns. Now, let's pivot to something we've all tripped over: communication, or what's left of it. Early on, you'd talk for hours. But after decades, it's more like pass the salt, or worse, silence, while he's glued to the TV. Habits harden with age. Fewer words, more grunts, and a whole lot of assuming you're on the same page. Spoiler, you're not. She says, "We need to fix the sink." And he hears, "I'll get to it eventually." Next thing you know, she's stewing because nothing's done. It's not just about sinks. It's the little misfires piling up. Seniors can fall into this trap easy. We're set in our ways. But when he stops listening, or she stops explaining, it's a quiet war. My neighbor once grumbled, "He's got 2 ears and no clue." That's the rub. Feeling unheard turns into feeling unvalued. Over time, those breakdowns chip away at patience. A quick fix? Actually talk. Really talk. Otherwise, that dislike's got roots. 4. Growing apart in interests. Here's a sneaky one. You start out loving the same thing, dancing, road trips, whatever. Then 30 years later, she's deep into knitting circles and he's obsessed with model trains. Interests drift, and that's fine, until they pull you apart. She wants to chat about her book club. He's muttering about golf scores. Suddenly, those differences aren't cute. They're a chasm. For women, this can hit hard. If he's not joining her world, or worse, mocks it, she feels sidelined. I've seen it. My cousin's wife loves bird watching, but he calls it staring at feathers. Ouch. As seniors, we've got time to explore hobbies, but when they don't overlap, it's lonely. She might think, "We used to do everything together. Now what?" That gap breeds irritation, especially if he's dismissive. Sharing even one interest could bridge it, but without that, dislike simmers. It's practical. Life evolves, but it still stings. 5. Uneven household responsibilities. Let's get real. Chores. She's still scrubbing pots, folding laundry, and planning Thanksgiving, while he's supervising from the couch with a beer. Sound familiar? Retirement doesn't magically balance the load. If anything, it highlights who's carrying it. For women, that imbalance isn't just tiring, it's maddening. After decades of juggling, she's done playing maid. I've heard it a million times. "I didn't sign up to be his mom." And yet, there he is, leaving dishes in the sink like it's 1975. Studies show 60% of retired couples argue over chores. Crazy, right? But it's not about the mess. It's feeling taken for granted. She's not asking for a medal, just a hand. When he doesn't pitch in, that dislike festers. Practical as a dirty floor. A little teamwork could flip the script, but until then, she's glaring at those socks for a reason. 6. Financial stress. Money's next, and boy, does it stir the pot. Retirement's no picnic, fixed incomes, medical bills, maybe a roof that's leaking. Then he splurges on a fishing rod while she's clipping coupons. Tension City. For women, financial stress isn't just numbers, it's security slipping away. She might see him as reckless. He might think she's nagging. Either way, it's a fight waiting to happen. I knew a couple. He loved gadgets. She worried about rent. Every Amazon box was a battle. Aging amps this up. Health costs rise. Savings shrink. When priorities clash, resentment builds. She's thinking, why doesn't he get it? He's thinking, why is she so uptight? It's practical, money matters, but it's personal too. A budget chat could ease it, but without one, that dislikes cashing checks. 7. Midlife crisis and external stressors. Life doesn't slow down just because you're older. Empty nests, lost friends, health scares, pile on. Then he decides it's time for a Harley he can't ride. Midlife crisis? Anyone? For women, these external stressors, plus his quirks, can feel like too much. She's juggling grandkids and doctor visits. He's daydreaming about the open road. It's not funny anymore. It's exhausting. Aging throws curveballs, and we handle them differently. She might crave stability. He's chasing youth. That mismatch? It grates. My friend's husband started golfing nonstop. She felt abandoned. Add in life's pressures, and patience thins. It's practical, stress is real, but when he's off in la-la land, dislike creeps in. A little empathy could smooth it, but until then, she's not laughing. 8. Lack of appreciation. Finally, the big one, appreciation, or the lack of it. She's cooked 1,000 dinners, packed his lunches, cheered his wins, but thanks? Rare as a blue moon. For women, that silence cuts deep. After decades, she's not asking for a parade, just a nod. When it doesn't come, she feels like wallpaper, there, but unnoticed. I've heard it. He'd notice if I stopped, but not while I'm at it. Seniors can fall into this rut, assuming the other knows they're grateful. But unspoken thanks turns into unspoken resentment. It's so practical. Words cost nothing. But without them, dislike grows. A simple, "You're amazing," could shift it. Until then, she's tallying every unthanked chore. Now that we've unpacked those 8 reasons, let's bring it to life with a story. Meet Linda and Tom, a couple from a quiet little suburb in Ohio, married 42 years and counting. Picture their cozy, split-level home. Flower boxes out front, a shed in the back, and a kitchen that's seen more potlucks than you can count. Linda's 68, a retired 3rd-grade teacher with a laugh that fills the room. Tom's 70, a former mechanic who's traded wrenches for whittling sticks in his shed. They're your classic Midwestern duo, solid, salt-of-the-earth folks. But lately, things are prickly. Linda's always been the social one. Post-retirement, she's found her groove. Coffee dates with her gal pals every Tuesday, hunting quirky treasures at thrift stores, and planning little outings to the farmer's market. Last week, she scored a $10 vase she swears is vintage. It's got character, she beams. Tom, though, he's a homebody. Give him a football game on TV or a quiet afternoon carving wooden ducks, and he's golden. Problem is, Linda's hobbies don't just baffle him, they bug him. "Why's she wasting money on junk?" he grumbles, eyeing that vase like it's a tax bill. And Linda? She's over his muttering. "If I hear one more word about my shopping, I'm moving in with the cat," she snapped one night. It's not just the vase. Linda loves gabbing about her friends' grandkids or the latest gossip. "Did you hear Sue's getting a new hip?" Tom tunes out, nodding like he's listening, but he's really plotting his next shed project. She'll say, "Let's take a walk," and he'll grunt, "Maybe later," which means never. Meanwhile, he's ticked she's always flitting off, leaving him with dishes he forgets to wash. Last Sunday, it boiled over. She wanted to host a brunch. He wanted peace and quiet. "You're turning this place into a circus," he barked. "And you're turning it into a museum," she fired back. They're not yelling because they hate each other. It's those little drifts piling up. Take their daily routine. Linda's up early, humming as she waters her petunias. Tom shuffles out an hour later, coffee in hand, griping about the news. She'll chatter about her plans. He'll half listen, then retreat to his shed. By dinner, she's stewing. He didn't even comment on the chili she spent hours perfecting. He's clueless, thinking, "She knows I like it, right?" That gap, her craving connection, him craving calm widens every day. It's not dramatic, it's practical. She loves him, but she's starting to dislike the dance. One night, over meatloaf, it hit a peak. Linda said, "I'm going to that craft fair Saturday." Tom groaned, "Another thing to clutter the house." She glared, fork mid-air. "At least I'm doing something." Silence. He shoveled food. She stared out the window. They're not done. They've weathered worse. But those jabs, they're stacking up. Linda's not packing bags, but she's tired. Tom's not leaving, but he's baffled. It's a classic senior slump. Love's there, buried under life shifts. Stick around, because their story's got a point and a fix. Linda and Tom aren't outliers, they're us, or someone we know. Their story's a mirror. Those practical frustrations don't mean the end of the road, they're just potholes you can patch. The big lesson? It's not about rewriting your whole marriage, it's tweaking the little steps. Take Linda's thrift store sprees. Tom could tag along once just to see her light up, even if he hates knickknacks. Or those dishes he skips. Pitching in could flip her frown upside down. And Linda? Maybe she cuts him some slack, lets him have his shed time without a guilt trip. Small moves, big wins. The real takeaway is this: aging together means adapting together. Those 8 reasons, bodies changing, intimacy invading, all of it, they're not deal breakers, they're signals. Talk more, even if it's awkward. Share a hobby, even if it's just coffee on the porch. Say thanks for the chili, it's free and it matters. Linda and Tom could turn it around with a little effort. Less bickering, more bridging. It's not about fixing everything overnight. It's about not letting the gap grow. Love's still there. It's just waiting for a nudge. So, what's your nudge gonna be? Watching Linda and Tom, I can't help but think aging isn't just about gray hair or creaky joints. It's about how we shift with the people we love. I've seen it in my own circle. Friends who've hit these same snags and come out stronger or drifted further. It's humbling, you know? We're not perfect, and neither are our marriages, but there's beauty in that mess. Those socks on the floor, the vase he hates, they're part of the story. I guess it's a reminder. Showing up matters even when it's hard. For me, it's about keeping that joy alive, ours and theirs. What about you? Well, folks, we've covered a lot today on the Joyful Senior, haven't we? Let's wrap it up. Why do women start to dislike their husbands as they get older? It's not some big mystery, it's practical, everyday stuff. Bodies change, hers, his, those creaky joints and sleepless nights. Intimacy fades when life gets busy, and communication. It can turn into grunts and guesses. Hobbies pull them apart, chores pile up unevenly, money stresses loom, midlife quirks clash, and appreciation. Sometimes it's nowhere to be found. Linda and Tom showed us how those little drifts, like her thrift store vases and his shed grumbles, can stack up. But here's the good news. These aren't dead ends. They're just bumps in the road, and with a little tweak, maybe a thanks here, a shared coffee there, they're fixable. Love doesn't vanish. It just needs a nudge to shine again. To all you joyful seniors out there, don't let the years dim that spark you built together. Aging is a wild ride. Health hiccups, grandkid chaos, the whole shebang. But it's also a chance to grow closer, not further apart. You've got wisdom, time, and a whole lot of heart. Use it. Maybe it's sitting down to really talk, splitting that dish duty, or just laughing at the absurdity of it all. Relationships evolve, and that's not a flaw. It's what keeps them alive. You're not alone in this dance. And you don't have to be perfect, just present. So, here's my challenge. What's one thing you've noticed shifting in your own relationship lately? Drop it in the comments. I'm dying to hear your stories. Did he forget the laundry again? Did she buy another quirky lamp? Let's chat about it. If this hit home, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and tap the bell so you don't miss our next Real Talk session. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Keep spreading that joy, and I'll see you next time on The Joyful Senior. Take care.